Ashley, your hair is wet, your room is messy, and you have no makeup on your face. Perfect time to film a video.
This scene won't play, I won't say I'm in love. You're doing this, we are letting you're in love.
Let's begin. It's not like Tangled, okay? It's not. There's this man and this woman, and they want a baby. And one day, this woman's just like standing at the window, looking down on the garden that belonged to the enchantress next door. And she's like, damn, that Rapunzel looks good. If you don't know what that is, Rapunzel is a type of lettuce. You heard me correctly, it is a type of lettuce. But it's called Rampion, aka Rapunzel. She looked at it, she was like, that looks like some damn good lettuce. Because that's what it is. And she like really wanted the lettuce. She started to turn pale and she got really depressed because she didn't have the lettuce, right? Because that's what happens to me when I don't get food. I get really super pale and I get really, really depressed, actually. That is what happens. And then the husband's just like, oh my god, are you okay? What's wrong? I gotta have that lettuce or I'm gonna die. He didn't really want his wife to die because they kind of want a kid, you know? You need a man and a woman to have a kid. He goes over the wall and into the garden. He takes the lettuce. She makes a salad. She loves it. She is enjoying the salad so much that she wants it 3 times more than the day before. Are you sure you're not pregnant? He again, you know, goes into the garden and goes to take some lettuce. Rapunzel. I should call it Rapunzel, shouldn't I? That's what the name of the lettuce is called. He goes into the garden. The enchantress is just standing there like, ayo, that's my Rapunzel. You can't take that. That's not for that. Like, you're not gonna get away with that. So like, the guy tries to reason with her. Like, listen, my wife saw your Rapunzel and was like, damn, that's some good Rapunzel and I'm gonna die if I don't have it. So like, I was just fulfilling my wife's wishes so that she would me tonight. And the enchantress just goes, yeah, cool. Listen to this. If you want to keep taking my Rapunzel lettuce, then you could totally do that. Take as much as you want. Just give me your firstborn child. If you're ever making a deal with someone and you can't think of what to make a deal with, just ask for their firstborn child. Works every time. This is how I picture it going. Like, give me your firstborn child, and he just goes, okay. He accepts the deal. He goes back, and then, you know, they get pregnant because the man brought his wife the lettuce, and so she was really happy, so she thanked him with a good that night. I should stop saying They gave birth to the child, and then all of a sudden the enchantress just pops back up and is just like, ayo, give me your child right now. So she takes Rapunzel. She raises her like a normal mother until she's 12 and then like locks her in a tower. And it literally gives no reason. No reason. Just locks her in a tower. It's in a forest. No window. Well, there's a window, but there's no doors, no stairs. When the enchantress wanted to go see Rapunzel, she would yell, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down. Excuse you. She lets down her like golden locks and lifts up the enchantress. And then like after a year or two, so let's just keep this in mind, she's 14. The king's son just galloping on by and hears Rapunzel singing, and he sat and he listened to it, right? Like a creeper, he wanted to climb up to her, but he could not find doors and stairs. So he just like left. He just like went back home. But the singing like deeply touched his heart. I think it deeply touched his penis is what it deeply touched. Every day he would go out into the forest. He would sit there, wait for Rapunzel to start singing. He would sit behind a tree and... Someone's vacuuming. Really? Trying to film here. One day he sees the enchantress come over and like go, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. And he sees that she lets down her hair and the enchantress gets pulled up by Rapunzel. So he's like, well, I want to do that. The next day, when it started to get dark, he goes over the tower and he's like, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. So Rapunzel lets down her hair and pulls the guy up, and she's so surprised that it is a man and not the enchantress. Like their voices don't sound different, so she's like really scared because she just let a man into her tower. She's never seen a man before, you know? She has been deprived of the man thing. He began to talk to her very nicely, and she's just like, oh cool, you seem like a nice guy. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, just like, hey, you wanna like get married? She looked at him. He was pretty hot. He was the king's son. And she was just like, well, this guy's probably gonna treat me better than the enchantress. Even though she barely knows this guy. She just met him like 5 minutes ago. She just kind of assumes. She's just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get married. Except for I can't get down. So what you need to do is bring me, what does she say? A skein of silk every time that you come. What is a skein? It's a S-K-E-I-N. So bring some kind of silk whenever you come, and I will build a ladder out of it, and then once the ladder is finished, I will climb down and we can run off into the sunset together. So every day, after the enchantress left, right, he would go over, bring her the silk and, you know, whatever. One day, listen to this exact quote. Tell me, Dame Gothel, how it happens that you are so much heavier for me to draw up than the young king's son. You had one job, Rapunzel, and you f***ed up. The enchantress gets super, super mad, as I would. You know, if I locked my daughter in a tower so that she wouldn't have any contact with the world, and all of a sudden I find out this guy is coming to visit and she's 14, yeah, I'm gonna be a little pissed. The enchantress cuts off Rapunzel's hair and brings Rapunzel to this desert to live in misery. Later that night, after Rapunzel gets sent away to this desert to live in misery, the enchantress ties Rapunzel's hair to her hair. Here's the prince. Go, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. And she lets down the hair, pulls him up, and he's just like, you're not Rapunzel. She's just mad, threatening him to do all this stuff to him. He gets so scared, he jumps out of the window. He lives, but he landed on thorns, which poked his eyes out, which means he's blind. So he's like wandering around the forest eating roots and berries because he has no idea where he's going because he's blind, because he landed on thorns. And he's also crying out of his blind eyes because he lost his wife that he's been, you know, bringing silk to for the past month. I mean, I don't know how he's living right now. He like roamed around for a few years, just kind of crying and eating roots and berries. All of a sudden, he like comes up on the desert that Rapunzel is in with, what is this? Twins that she has given birth to in the desert? First of all, how the hell do you birth your own twins? That's gotta be hard. She's one badass chick. 2, it looks like the prince was doing a little bit more than bringing her silk. If you know what I mean. He like stumbles upon Rapunzel, and Rapunzel's like, oh my god, it's him, and starts crying into his neck, and somehow when she cries into his neck, tears get into his eyes. And he can see again, and so they go back to the castle and they live happily ever after. So there you go. That was the original version of Rapunzel. I guess I will see you next Monday. Yeah. Bye.